Hello all, this is an in-depth review of an airsoft replica of a Fabrique Nationale Herstal Mark 16 Mod 0 Scar L. Made by Fabrique Nationale or FN Herstal of Belgium, the SCAR stands for Special Operations Forces Combat Assault Rifle. Why Operations and Forces were removed? Probably because soft car doesn't sound as good as SCAR. The L stands for light, as this fires the 5.56mm NATO rounds, as opposed to SCAR H, which fires the 7.62mm NATO rounds. This particular clone was made by a company called We Airsoft, or WE Airsoft, who normally specialise in gas blowback guns. However, this weapon is an automatic electric gun, or AEG, part of their new lineup, an initial foray into AEGs. Before I continue with this video, firstly some legislation. This is an airsoft replica. It cannot fire, made to fire, or be adapted to fire live or blank ammunition. This is an automatic electric gun, and it only fires small plastic BBs. Furthermore, as this is a realistic imitation firearm, please follow your local laws and legislations. And finally, when shooting such weapons, please always wear appropriate safety glasses or goggles. The length of the weapon with the stock retracted is approximately 82 centimeters or 32 inches. With the stock extended, the length of the weapon is 88 centimeters or approximately 34.5 inches. The weight of the weapon with no additions, add-ons, attachments, magazine or ammunition is approximately 2.8 kilos. Okay, we're now going to do an in-depth overview of the entire weapon, going through it section by section and pointing out the different features of each section. We'll start off with the upper receiver, which is made of aluminium. It's quite high quality aluminium, very thick, very heavy, pretty good weighty feel to it. Notable features of the upper receiver are the monolithic rail on the top. This is 38 slots. I don't know if you can see the numbers there, running from number 1 to number 38 at the very front. On either side of the upper receiver are these smaller rails here and these bumpers. As you've probably noticed, I've completely forgotten to mention the under barrel rail. Completely my fault, I did miss it out entirely. Again, that rail is made of metal and can be used to attach hand guards, vertical grips, even a grenade launcher if you wanted to. Room to fit attachments, scopes, torches, lasers, whatever takes your fancy. Sling mounts, there are ambidextrous sling mounts on either side of the weapon. You have two at the rear here, one at the front there, one at the rear over here, and one at the front over here. Charging handle is this little grey nub in here. Push it all the way back, reveals a hop-up chamber. We'll go into that in some detail. And to release it, you press the releasing catch on the other side, which we'll go into detail in a moment. As you can hear, the charging handle does sound a bit pants, but hey, we got what we got. Okay, so we now move on to the lower receiver. It's made of a very sturdy ABS plastic, quite good strong stuff, very little flex in it actually. Points to note about the right side of this is the selector switch and the magazine catch. Selector switch has safety, semi and auto, and it's obviously used as like an MP5 as such, and it just rotates as so. Trigger and trigger guard made of plastic again, so not entirely great, but hey, what can you do? You also have the handle, and obviously like any normal Mech 2 gearbox, the motor sits inside the handle. Magwell, quite a largish, quite well open magwell, fits any standard M4 or 5.56 Stanag magazines. On the other side, again, selector switch, magazine release catch, and charging handle release catch. So if you pull the charging handle back, you can see it move along here. You can push this and it releases the working parts forward. So, and you press the button and it flies forward. Right, moving on. we're now moving on to the stock of the weapon. It's again slightly lower receiver, made of a very sturdy, very thick, well-made ABS plastic, good quality stuff. Now this is a folding stock, and it's folded by pressing this semicircular button here, and press that and it flicks out to the right hand side of the weapon. I'm sure you can see this piece of plastic sticking out. That hooks onto this nub to lock the stock in place. It's not the greatest in the world. It isn't very strong, and I'll be honest, anything can probably just knock that out of the pace, and you'll have a stock wildly flying around. Also, one of my gripes on this weapon is this. That is the part that goes to the battery, and that is the part that goes down to the motor. I don't particularly like that. It's exposed wires. I would have been happier to see a thicker tube dedicated just for that, but it turns out Wii hasn't really done that. So yeah, moving on, you have now the cheek rest, which is also adjustable in case you have stocks and such, and that is done by pressing down on this square button here, lifting it up. It doesn't go down by itself until you press the square and you push it back down again. The rear stock is also adjustable, and that's done by pushing this triangular button this direction and down at the same time. It takes a bit of getting used to. So you press forward and down and you pull it straight out. Now it says it has 6 points. I've counted it, it's more like 5 points of extension. They're about a centimetre apart. At full extension it's a bit wobbly, but all the way in it's still a bit wobbly but a bit more secure from what I can feel. The battery compartment is accessed by pushing on this grey pin here, which is this side here. Now that can go on either side. Push that, pull it out, take the buttstock off, and pin goes in the back. I'll just fold this over just so you can see it much more easily. Battery stock in there, and as per normal, every airsoft weapon, mini Tamiya. The good thing about this is by extending the stock, you actually make the battery compartment a lot larger. How much by a lot larger? Well, let's give it a quick measure at full extent. That's pretty deep in there. It's a full 30 centimetre ruler, and that gives us about 22 centimetres of length in there. It's plenty of battery space. Hi again. Just to be 100% accurate, with the stock fully extended, it's 22 centimetres long by 2 centimetres wide, and with the stock fully retracted it's only 16 by 2, so obviously make sure you have the right batteries. Stick a decent MOSFET in there, but it does mean that getting to the Tamiya connector can be quite difficult, so you have to press the button, move it down, pull the Tamiya connector out, connect it. If you've got a particularly large battery, then move it back up and then you'll be fine. But if you have something like a LiPo, it should be a lot better. One of my other gripes about this is that there appears to be, on this particular weapon, no retention pin for this pin, or retention of any sort. My friend took this out last time and we needed to tape this pin down to make sure it didn't fly out during the skirmish. So to put this back on, and then you close the back, pin can go through either way, doesn't really matter. That's the stock. Right, let's talk about the front of the weapon now. You've got the barrel and the muzzle at the front. The barrel comes out about 15 centimetres from the weapon itself, and then you've got the flash suppressor at the very front. It's got 3 prongs, nothing particularly special. It has got a thread around it, but I don't know what size it is. I'm not really into suppressors myself. Interesting feature here is this black little bit under the front sight here. Try and focus in on that. There we are. And if you flick it out and open it, you find there's a small Torx head multi tool in there, and that can be used to undo certain screws on like the RIS rails and such. Why would you use it? Don't know. I don't find a particular use for it. Just pop it back in and lock it in place. As I said before, in order to access the hop-up, you need to remove the charging bolt back as such. As you can see, the hop-up chamber is inside here. Hop-up is adjusted by adjusting this dial, twisting it left and right in the appropriate directions to change it. The green you see in there is a G&G green hop-up, and I pretty much like that version because I think it's a pretty decent version. Hop-up actual chamber itself is made of plastic. It's a clear plastic. I don't know if you could really actually see it. It's quite difficult, but there is a hop-up plastic there. It's made of clear plastic. Don't really know what it's made of. Seems fairly strong, but I don't know how long it would stand up compared to a metal hop-up. One of the parts and features that I forgot to mention about this weapon are the sights, and I thought I'd leave those till last to go through them. As you can see, they're both folding sights, and they are in the folded position. The rear sight and the front sight are as standard. The front sight will go through with it first. Front sight at the moment is folded in the forward position, and it's quite a simple sight. If I leave it folded, you can actually see the single pin on it. I'll try and raise the weapon up. And as you can see, it's just a single pin in there, no adjustment in there whatsoever. To raise the front sight, you need to depress this little silver button here. So you push that down and you flick it up, and it's locked in place. It's still a bit wobbly, but it's sturdier than some of the other systems I've seen before. To lower it, again, just depress the little button, push it forward, and it lowers. The rear sight is again a folding sight. It's quite simple. Has a single aperture on the back, as you can see, and to fold and lift and fold this sight is just a matter of pushing it back and forward. Nothing to it. This has got adjustment for elevation and windage. Elevation's adjusted by this knob here. It's quite stiff, but it's as good as it gets. And if you could see there, if we extend it all the way to the top and then pull it all the way down to the bottom. And again, it's got adjustments for windage as well. So overall, not too bad. This can be removed should you need to add scopes and you find it's in the way, and it's removed by undoing this little Allen key here and then just popping it off the rails, and you're done. There you have it, a full in-depth review of the different parts of the weapon, section by section, various features of the weapon, section by section, and some of the pros and cons of this weapon. I do say it's a fairly well-made weapon. The initial specifications for it are a bit pants, and I'll go through that another time. In the next video, I'll show you how to disassemble this weapon and put it back together again. Okay, thank you very much.